Hello guys, it's been a long time since I uploaded anything. I just came back to play Flyff Universe for only a week after the Reborn patch update. The first clip that I want to show you guys is the clip from the Guardian Sanctuary dungeon. I am with my friends here. We have 2 BPs, 1 RM, and 1 Psykeeper, which is me, and another one is a knight who hasn't joined the team yet but will soon join later, and another 1 ranger. As you can see here, I'm waiting for my guys to gather the mobs and for the mobs to hit them first. As my main role here is the main DPS, so I have a very little to no HP at all. With my unicorn open, my HP is only 18k. So yeah, we just need to clear this mob to finish the Guardian Sanctuary Nightmare requirements to clear the monster for 120 mobs. As you can see here, my DPS is higher than the BP and the other characters here. My equipment here is Bloody Wand with maximum crisis plus 25% and pain set, the level 135 sets for Psykeeper, plus intel ring and demo earring and gore necklace. So we almost finished this mob. The HP of monsters in these nightmare mode are pretty high, so you need to have a near to full gear in order to attend and complete these dungeons. So now I'm following the BP for him to tank for me first. I'm avoiding the area of effect on the ground, which is really hard to see in this map because of the orange red ground. And the mobs here also dropped the skin. As you can see here, the monsters that wearing a wand also drop a wand skin, which you can transmute to your wand. And also the one that following us also dropped the stick, I think, or maybe the spear for the knights, which you can transmute at the NPC in Flourish. As you can see here, I'm spamming maximum crisis, which is the highest DPS skill, highest AoE DPS skill of Psykeeper, which really helps in dungeon a lot. And you don't want to use the psychic square skill because it's really slow. Okay, let's wait for this mob to clear out. This is my first time in this dungeon, so I'm really confused as to do I need to evade the circles around the map, because it seemed impossible to evade them as they spawn literally everywhere. So yeah, you need to spam skills, and the RM tries to stay away from the group because maybe some of the monsters in the dungeon, they hit in AoE skills, and also in AoE no more hits. Yeah, the knights die sadly because the RM healing isn't reaching him. But you know, the best defense is the offense, so we need to clear this mob as fast as possible. There you go, nice healing. Next mob is the Ashura mob. So in this mob, it usually spawn at the B5 or B6, I'm not remember, in the Forsaken Tower, and they recolor it to red and then put it inside this dungeon. It's also dropped the weapon skins. If you can see here, my DPS runs pretty high into these Ashura skills at 48k per second. Psykeeper is a very good class for dungeons, both in the AoE damage, only second to Elementor I think, and also the main DPS in the boss, as you will soon see. Let's go. We have another 40, I think 34 monster left. Yeah, Psykeeper AoE DPS is pretty high. So if you want to do dungeons with your friends, don't forget to bring your Psykeeper and your RM, and also a knight, and maybe a BP or an extra IM for extra resurrection. And yeah, this one is quite confusing. As you can see just now, there are clouds above our characters and the mobs. It's basically a mirror of the monsters. Like, you don't need to, like, they spawn but you don't need to kill them. It's pretty new mechanic, and also unique to this dungeon, that I think it will make it difficult in the boss room, as you will see later. The clouds are coming again, and the spawn are now hitting every characters in the area, so everyone has to have at least some of the HP to survive. Just now our RM disconnected maybe because of her internet going bad, I don't know, but we can still sustain this mob, which is cool. Like, the bloody weapons certainly helps in this situation by healing ourselves. Yeah, I think this mob should be enough for us to count for 120 monsters cleared. Now we have 2 monsters left, so I decided to go and skill the other monsters. Now the requirements of the dungeon has been met. We already cleared 120 monsters, so we used our rangers to lure other mobs for other characters, so that he can use dark illusion later and the mobs will go back to its original position. For this boss, you can see that my Psykeeper does a ton of damage. Now I switch to Intelligence Pet, which is a fox, which was transmuted to a I think Behemoth Dragon. My Psykeeper is hitting pretty hard in this dungeon, at least 100k per second DPS. This is just a mini boss before we go into the final boss. The mechanic of this boss is not really hard to understand. You just have to evade the circles on your feet in order to avoid any damage. And also please don't stand to the right side of the mob like this BP do, because you will also get hit like Knight did. Like, it's pretty cool that if you stay on the side that the sword swings into, you will get hit, but if you stay on the other side, you won't get hit. But I think this BP, he already has his HP gear in, so he doesn't have to concern about being dead by the mini boss attacks. And also he can get the heal rain from the RM. The DPS of Psykeeper is pretty high on these bosses because they don't have elements. Unlike other bosses, they have elements which are in favor of those auto attackers. Like if they have a plus 10 knuckle, for example, it will boost their damage by, I'm not sure, around 25% to 30%, which will be almost the same as me, a Psykeeper, in this game. As you can see here, the BP DPS is around I cannot see it, 69 or 70 plus 30% is around 91k, which is very close to me. And I hold the link attack, not the global effect like the other BP. So he may out DPS me if this boss has element, but for now Psykeeper is very strong against these bosses. There is also a new item loot mechanic which let you roll if you need the item or not, and then after that it will announce in the system like this that Lvl was awarded the item, and then Lvl has to pick that up by using his pickup pet or using his character. I think this system needs some adjustment. Like, it can be easier for the system to know that if this person was awarded the item, it should be inside their inventory immediately after that. It will be easier for us to not care about the rare drops, because it will go inside our character regardless. If the character has like full inventory, it should go into their mailbox. Yeah, and right now we are facing the final boss, the turtle boss, the pyramid guardian boss. Yeah, and yeah, again, the Lvl DPS and Moe DPS is almost as close as each other. Just now I refreshed the DPS window to see the real DPS. Now I want to stay inside this and as close to the RM as possible, because she's the one who will give me a a GT, which will reduce my casting time by 15%, plus that with Bloody Wand and the 135 set, the pain set, plus my prems, which are Potion of Clarity and White Cotton Candy. I can reach which will make Psykeeper DPS goes pretty high compared to other characters you see here. Yeah, my DPS is almost at 120. It hangs around 115. Yeah, this boss takes a really long time for us to kill it, so I'll leave you to watch it. Just now the smoke is up again, and there are 3 bosses now that we have to choose for hitting. So the way to distinguish between the mirror of the boss and the real boss is the HP. The main boss should have 200 million HP, and it's actually 4. The other 3 will have a different HP, and it will require 1 people to lure them out. In my case, my team uses a knight, and in other team cases they might use an elementor to lure them out, and walk in circle until all of our team has finished killing the boss, which is pretty long. So this dungeon is ranked as pretty hard in the difficulty scale, and the drops from this dungeon are D card, C card, B card, and A card. But the chance of an A card dropping is pretty low, even in Lvl server. After a week or so, there's only few cards in the market. Like, I haven't seen like up to 10 cards in the market yet. Maybe the one who farm them also uses them, as they need a lot of gear and a full gear to obtain. I'll leave you to watch this clip as we trying to kill this boss. Oh no, please don't hit me. I only have 11k HP. I will die for sure if the monsters do not move. Yeah, I died. So the RM are the ones who like have to do the most work in these dungeons. Like as you can see here, she has to buff me. If I die, she has to resurrect me, and also she has to use GT to every attacker in the party, and she has to use Heal Rain and also the Moonbeam to increase our damage, and also sometimes using Holy Cross, and in this case she's using Circle Healing because it reaches more people, although it heals less, but it can heal more people. Now we ask the ranger to tank. We should use the knight to tank this boss, and use another character to lure the other 3 turtles. As you can see here, there is a monsters behind the boss that has its feet covered with blue effects. So these mobs, we shouldn't kill them, but we should damage them until their HP reaches below 30% of the monster HP, and then we just ignore them and don't kill them, because they have a soul link effect to the boss. So the boss will not die if these mobs doesn't reach below 30% of its HP. And also the boss might heal itself if we kill the spawn that has the blue effects on its feet. So yeah, let's see what the turtle will drop. Any seconds now. So we dropped the wind card C, which will increase the critical damage and attack speeds. I think this card is the most useless one in terms of selling, or maybe the blade, or maybe a 1 versus 1 sword and shield knight might want this. And also another wind D card, which is the least valuable card in the market right now. The tier of the cards are A, B, C, D, with A being the highest. And as you can see here, one of my team has awarded the item, but we didn't see who was awarded. And then later on, we found out that the knight was the one who was awarded, and he has already left the dungeon, so no one can pick that up. Like as you can see here, the rangers trying to pick that one up. And then after I think 1 minute, the system allow other to pick the loot for knights. And then after that, it's pretty chaotic because the monsters didn't clear out and we are not invincible, so we need to dodge the attacks. So my suggestion for the developer is either to make our character invincible after we clear the boss, or clear out every mob after we clear the boss, so that we will not die after we have already finished killing the boss. And also the pet cages, I didn't see any pet cages in that dungeon. I'm not sure where it is, but yeah, it's been fun. Don't forget to like and subscribe to not miss the future videos. Thank you. Bye bye. See you in the next dungeon run. NV Depths.